Thank you, Stu Hirsch. The time has come. I hope everyone enjoyed your meal and will enjoy the table once again when you sit down. I know you're all talking about the wonderful work of our legendary landmarks. I want to point out that the dessert was underwritten by our legendary landmark, Richard Dreyhouse. Thank you for treating us all to a surprise of Graeter's ice cream sundaes. We have some very special guests that I would like to recognize who make the work of Landmarks, Illinois, possible. We'd like to extend our deep appreciation to all of tonight's event sponsors. Each of them is listed in the program, and their names were showing on the screen during dinner. I'll let you settle down before I read the actual names. Thank you. In particular, we'd like to offer a special thanks to tonight's presenting sponsors, legendary landmark Joe Antunovich and Antunovich Associates. Event co-chairs Richard Dreyhouse, a 2007 legendary landmark himself, and Dan McCaffrey of McCaffrey Interests Incorporated. We also recognize the generous support of benefactor Bruce White of White Lodging. No event of this scale can be presented so flawlessly and elegantly without a dedicated host committee. Thank you, co-chairs Shelley Gorson and Janet Rotner. And volunteers Madeline Gellis, Frida Ireland, Karen Freer, and Sandra Rand for making tonight a perfect evening. I'd like to recognize a similarly outstanding group of volunteers. That is the Landmarks Illinois 34-member Board of Directors, beginning with Chairman Alicia Berg. Would you please stand so we can see you, Alicia? Now with the other board members, join Alicia and stand for applause. A tremendous thank you for your leadership. All the board members. And lastly, we would like to thank the staff of Landmarks Illinois for their daily efforts and accomplishments toward the fulfillment of the organization's important mission, and ask that they please stand. Staff? Thank you. Landmarks Illinois is the only not-for-profit organization inspiring local action statewide to catalyze incremental and transformational community change through historic preservation. That's interesting, and I'll repeat it. They catalyze incremental and transformational community change through historic preservation. Over its 43-year history, its list of successes has become quite lengthy, including well-known projects like the Chicago Cultural Center and Chicago Theater, and lesser-known wins like initiating the property tax assessment freeze and equality in statewide school capital funding. To show you a little bit more about what we do, please join me in watching a 6-minute video that profiles 3 of the organization's projects and the people whose lives they have touched.
I was born in the year that my grandfather, Mies van der Rohe, left Germany, but I met him personally and for the first time in 1952 in 1957. I went out to the Farnsworth House because I had to see it. The Farnsworth House is a very simple weekend house. It is really one large room enclosed by glass windows, sitting in the landscape, and it is raised from the ground. It's like floating on air. It is undoubtedly one of the great monuments of the 20th century architecture. I've actually restored the house a couple of times, once for the second owner, Lord Peter Palumbo from London. There was a major flood where the house was flooded 5 feet up the walls. I think that broke his heart, and eventually he decided to put it up for auction.
Let's begin the bidding.
It was very intense. A group of people, friends of the Farnsworth House, helped purchase it, so the house went into the right hands. Landmarks Illinois has played a major role in the preservation of the Farnsworth House. They managed and protected the house until the National Trust for Historic Preservation took over that responsibility. Why was it important to save it? Because it's an icon.
Well, we're coming to the church as pastor and wife. We had no idea that this was the most important building to African Americans in the city. We just knew that this was our new assignment.
We really didn't have any sense of the historic and cultural and architectural significance of the building that we were dealing with.
We knew that it was in total disrepair and that our job would be to bring it back to life.
We've done $2.2 million of work at Quinn Chapel. That includes the roof system, the dormer windows, the overhangs, fixing the towers, new copper on the exterior of the building.
There are so many pieces to every single step of restoring a historic building. Although we have many miles to go, we've come a very long way.
Landmarks Illinois has been an important part of what we've done at Quinn Chapel. Not only did they give dollars, but they gave time, expertise, and encouragement.
Restoring that building has always been and will always be about the people that it affects. We weren't about saving the building for the building's sake, but we were about saving the building to save the community.
Driving near Paris, you see the courthouse from miles away, towering over the city. I think it really is the heart of the town. I'm a structural engineer, and the most meaningful project I've had the chance to work on was the restoration of the Edgar County Courthouse in small-town Paris, Illinois. It's meaningful because I grew up in Paris. Growing up, the courthouse was really part of life. In 2005, the statue on top of the courthouse was leaning. The wood framing on the inside of the bell tower was extremely deteriorated, decayed, essentially rotted out. Early estimates for restoration of the statue and the bell tower were over $1 million, which is a daunting sum for such a small community. Thankfully, the board was able to apply and receive a grant from Landmarks Illinois, which was specifically designated for restoration of the Lady Justice statue. It was a tremendous help to them.
I wanted to do something civically to help stimulate redevelopment. And the courthouse is the most important building in the county. It's really about a civic good.
Loss of these types of buildings is a loss of part of our story. And so preserving them is a way to maintain the history of our communities and of our people.
What an incredible video going deeper into the inspiring work that we do at Landmarks Illinois. Good evening to you all, our organization's many established and new friends. My name is Bonnie McDonald, and I have the great honor of leading Landmarks Illinois as its president and CEO. I want to recognize the creative leadership of Curtis Productions for our video. Donna and Luann, thank you so much. Thanks go out to our interviewees as well, to tell the personal stories of places that matter to them. Now, we're joined this evening by our film stars, Richard Driehaus and Pastor James and Corliss Moody. Our gratitude also goes out to Jack Corp, who are the architects for the Quinn Chapel AME Church project, for complimentary use of the photos that told this revitalization story. Now, Corliss told the story that Quinn Chapel inspired the entire community. But in fact, the congregation there has grown from just 50 people when they started restoration, now to over 450 people. So I hope that this video inspired you similarly to ask, what are the spatial places in your life that have shaped yourself and left an indelible mark on your memory? Places are for people, yet the preservation cause has focused largely on the bricks and mortar, the glass and the steel, to ensure a future for the built environment. But we at Landmarks Illinois are embracing a new idea about preservation, an idea that landmarks enhance the lives of people first, and by empowering individuals with the tools they need to reimagine their neighborhoods and their environment, we can improve blocks and shape an entire community for the better. In vintage places, we can create a job. We can open a world-renowned restaurant. We can learn a second language, create a home, and inspire learning. And maybe, just maybe, even see our favorite team win the World Series. These are the places where the great things can happen for our city and our citizens. The practice of preservation is evolving at Landmarks Illinois. It is an exciting time of evaluation and re-envisioning our programs to ensure that we're innovative and relevant to the many constituencies that we serve. So, watch us, join us, and engage in the good feeling that revitalizing places can have on you, on your neighbors, and on our entire city. All right, speaking of the World Series, get ready because I'm winding up for the pitch. We have an incredible goal tonight to raise $650,000 to support Landmarks Illinois. Now you've all, thank you, Tawani. You've been a big part of that. You've already made tonight the highest attended legendary landmark celebration, as you can see by this vast room. But now, let's hit a home run so that we can expand our reach. And thankfully, I have the help of a real MVP tonight. Auctioneer Jason Lamoureux of Lamoureux Auctions is here to help. Welcome, Jason.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. Ladies and gentlemen, it is certainly an honor and a pleasure to be with you here tonight and among such great Chicago legends. Ladies and gentlemen, the room is filled to capacity tonight to support Landmarks of Illinois. It's an honor and a pleasure to see so many familiar faces here tonight. And I know your generosity is a significant reason why the city is so livable, so dynamic, and continues to attract such investment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give each and every one of you the opportunity tonight by raising your bid card to support Landmarks of Illinois here this evening. On each of your tables, you're going to find a white envelope. I'm going to ask one brave individual to take that envelope, open it up, and distribute those cards. There's names on each of those cards. And as I said, we're going to give everyone an opportunity tonight to support Landmark Illinois and our great effort to preserve what is important. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 live auction items. We've got a fantastic evening. Let's have a great time. Let's raise a lot of money here tonight for Landmarks, Illinois. Our first live auction item, ladies and gentlemen, is get ready. It is time for Wine Connoisseur's Dream Tour come true. You're right. John Terlato and Terlato Wines have offered our first live auction package here tonight. You're going to head out to Napa, to all kinds of iconic wineries. Picture this. You're going to escape this winter of Chicago for the bright sunshine of California with a private tour on day 1 of Chimney Rock Vineyards. Along, you're going to sample tasting in the barrel room. You're going to have lunch, VIP, and a wonderful time in the courtyard. And then the second day is Rutherford Hill Winery. It's a famed location. You're going to get a behind-the-scenes tour. You're going to get up and close and personal with all the winemaking. You're going to meet the winemaker. You're going to make your own Merlot to bring back to Chicago. You're going to tour the oldest winemaking cave right there on the grounds of Rutherford Hills. And don't forget, we're also going to throw in $1,000 for a 2-night stay at the luxurious Bellagio Inn and Spa in Yountville. And to remember your visit, John Terlato will sign a 1.5-liter bottle of the highly rated Terlato Family Vineyards Devil's Peak Napa Valley for your own cellar. A one-of-a-kind experience. Ladies and gentlemen, raise your big cards. Who give me $1,000, now $1,500, now $2,000, now $25, and now $3,000, now $3,500, at $35, get $4, now $45, now $5,000, now $55, and now $6,000, at $6,000, yes, now $7,000, at $7,000, get $7,000, I'll take $6,500, at $6,500, get $6,000, now $65, I'm right in the front, right down in front, at $6,000. At $6,500, at $6,500, get $6,000, get $65, at $6,500 once, twice at $6,000, now $6,500, and I have sold right here at $6,000. Give him a big round of applause. Number 422. Congratulations and thank you to our donor as well as our buyer. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we have something so special for you tonight. This is your chance, compliments of Theaster Gates, who's created Bank Bond. And this is a limited edition of 100 being sold to raise money towards the transformation of the Stony Island Bank Building. And you may recall this building's been neglected since the 20s. But it's going to come back to life, and it's going to be a hub right on the south side. The marble slabs used for the bonds were pulled from the bank. He likes to call them the last usable currency. This is your chance to invest in a significant work of art from your very own Chicago artist that'll ensure the future of Chicago's South Side here tonight. Your bond will secure your name in the marble wall as a founding contributor to the Stony Island project, and it will be your best opportunity to own a piece of work by the artist, Mr. Gates. The proceeds will benefit Landmarks of Illinois right here, the Theaster Gates Rebuild Foundation, and obviously we're going to support that bank project. A special thanks to Theaster Gates and the Rebuild Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause here tonight. It's what it's all about. Let's go. Let's start the bidding. I bid $2,000, $3,000. At $3,000, yes, now $4,000. Get $3,400. At $4,000, yes, now $5,000. Get $5,000. Yes, now $5,500. At $5,500. Get $5,000. Now $5,500. Thank you. And now $6,000. At $5,500. Get $6,000. Get $5,500's bid. I'm asking $6,000. At $5,500. Get $6,000. Thank you. Now $65,000. At $6,500. Get $6,000. Now $65,000. At $6,000. At $65,000, at $65,000, thank you. Now $7,000, at $7,000, get $7,000, get $65,000, get $7,000, at $7,000. You know what Mr. Gates has done? He said we can do 2. Would you like one for $6,500? Number 505, and your number tonight, number 173. That's $13,000 raised. Give up both our buyers a big round of applause, and thank you so very, very much. But get ready, because it is time to head to California again. This time, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to head to La Quinta. Escape the miserable winter for sunny California. Take your friends or your family from the cold to the beautiful. Relax in La Quinta, California, a beautiful, beautiful resort home. This beautiful resort home right here, home of the legendary landmark right there, Richard Driehaus. Thank you so much. Let's give Richard a big round of applause right here. Thank you so very, very much. He gives some more. And think of this, it's tucked right there beneath the Santa Rosa Mountains, overlooking the fairways of the prestigious and world-renowned La Quinta Resort and Club, just 30 miles from Palm Springs. It's a beautiful home that'll sleep up to 6, wonderful time. But best of all, it's all for landmarks, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me, and let's go, and how many dollars? I bet $3,004. At $4,000, anybody get $4? Yes, now $5,000. At $5,000, anybody get $5? Yes, now $6,000. At $6,000, anybody get $6? $7. At $7,000, anybody get $7,000? I'm at $6,000, now $6,500. Thank you, now $7,000. At $7,000, anybody get $65? Anybody get $7? I'm at $6,500, anybody get $7? Now listen to this. I didn't tell you this. We're throwing $1,000 extra in that you can use anywhere on the property. You can go play golf at one of the Pete Dye courses, relax in the spa. We've got tennis. You can dine at one of the fabulous restaurants there as well. It's $1,000 extra. I have $6,500, $7,000, sir. That's $7,000. Anybody get $65 is there. $7,000. That's $7,000. Anybody get $7,000 once? $6,500. Now $7,000. Anybody get $7,000 twice? And I have sold right there. Give her a big round of applause. $6,500. That number tonight is number 410. Let's give a big round of applause to all our bidders, our buyers, and our wonderful donors here tonight. At this time, though, I'm going to invite Bonnie to come on up. And I need everyone's attention. Because we had 3 live auction items here tonight. But what we said was we were going to give everyone the opportunity to support the evening. And the way we want to do that is we want you to think about how you can help Landmarks of Illinois the best. I want you to think about that. And we're going to give everyone an opportunity here tonight. Where it feels right and where you can help the most, I want you to hold your paddle up here tonight. Because you're going to make 100% tax-deductible donation to Landmarks here this evening. Where it feels right, where it makes sense, our goal is that everyone do what they can here tonight, and I promise we'll give everyone an opportunity. We're going to start at $5,000 tonight, and together with Bonnie, she's going to share an example of how we might put to use some of these funds tonight at the various levels. So think about it. Where can you help the most, and what would we do with $5,000, Bonnie?
Well, Jason, for $5,000, we can continue our advocacy toward the passage of a statewide historic tax credit that would make the development of historic places more imperative, more possible, and really easier for all you developers in the room. So please support us.
It's for Landmark, Illinois, right here. Let's go and tell me $5,000. If you can help us out at $5,000 here tonight, let's see those big cards go up in the air. If you're not holding one, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, at $5,000. Let's hear the clapping. Thank you, number 275. Thank you, number 669, at $5,000 here tonight. Is there anyone else here tonight at our $5,000 level? Right here, number 571, right here as well. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you to Mr. Driehaus. Thank you so very, very much. Our next level tonight is $2,500. $2,500 for Landmarks. What could we do with $2,500?
Well, with $2,500, we can have one round of our Heritage Fund grants, which go to nonprofit organizations like the Rebuild Foundation might want to apply for one of these to help with the maintenance and restoration of historic places.
Landmarks, Illinois, right here. $2,500. If you can help us out at the $2,500 level here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see those paddles go up in the air. Let's hear the clapping here tonight at $2,500. Thank you, number 494 at $2,500. Thank you, number 268 at $2,500. Thank you, number 364 at $2,500. Thank you. Is that number 321 way in the back? Give them a big round of applause as well. Is there anyone else here tonight at $2,500? How about a big round of applause for everyone at our $2,500 level here tonight? Thank you. Our goal was that we all do what we can, ladies and gentlemen, and we're off to a great start. $1,000. $1,000. What could we do with $1,000 here tonight, Bonnie?
Yes. For $1,000, you can help us host events for emerging professionals in historic preservation, real estate, development, construction, and design. Our Skyline Council.
Think of that. Think of all the good that we can do. Let's fill the room, ladies and gentlemen. $1,000. Let's hear the clapping here tonight. Throw those numbers up in the air. Let's see them. Let's go. Let's hear the clapping here tonight. Let's go. Thank you, number 230. Thank you, number 673. Thank you, number 532. Thank you, number 657. I don't hear enough clapping. Let's go. Thank you, number 230. Thank you, number 575. Thank you, number 492. Thank you, number 525. Thank you, number 476. Thank you, number 193. Thank you, number 155. Thank you, number 140. Thank you, number 120. Thank you, number 567. Thank you, number 568 in the back. Thank you, number 571 as well. Is there anyone else here tonight at $1,000? $1,000. How about a big round of applause? Thank you so very, very much. Preservation, we all know, leads to progress. Think about it. If you haven't participated yet, $500. $500, Bonnie?
For $500, we can spend 20 hours with a historic property owner giving them technical assistance on how to do important things like energy efficiency, putting on a sensitive addition, or working with them on other design projects.
$500, Landmarks, Illinois, let's go. $500, let's fill the room, let's go. I don't see him up yet, let's go. Thank you, number 537, give him a big round of applause. Thank you, number 460. Thank you, number 663. Thank you, number 461. Thank you, number 208. Thank you, number 557. Thank you, number 360. Thank you, number 514. Thank you, number 611. Thank you, number 123. Thank you, number 315. Thank you, number 249. Thank you, number 148. Thank you, number 247 as well. Thank you, number 341. Thank you, number 306. Is there anyone else here tonight? Number 413, I think we called it. Is there anyone else as well? Number 327 at $500. Thank you, number 595 at $500. Thank you, number 213 as well at $500. Thank you, number 644 at $500 here tonight. Is there anyone else at our $500 level at $500? Let's give a big round of applause to everyone. Thank you, number 203, and thank you, number 344. 203 and 344 at $500 as well. $250. $250, Bonnie, if you will.
Right. This is very important because Landmarks Illinois is a statewide organization. Even though we were born in Chicago in 1971, we do serve the entire state. So for $250, we can go anywhere in the state and serve the communities from our Springfield field office. So please support our being a statewide.
Let's do what we can. If you haven't given, let's fill the room. Everyone can do this at $250. Let's fill the room. Every dollar counts. Every paddle makes a difference. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear the clapping here tonight. Thank you, number 303. Thank you, number 542. Thank you, number 240. Thank you, number 124. Thank you, number 241. Thank you, number 439. Thank you, number 646. Thank you, number 659. Thank you, number 130. Thank you, number 439. Thank you, number 527. Thank you, number 158. Thank you, number 139. We're not clapping. Aren't we excited? Let's go. Thank you, number 682. Thank you, number 480. Thank you, number 432. Thank you, number 219. Thank you, number 590. Thank you, number 487. Thank you, number 336. Thank you, way in the back, number 177. Thank you again, number 316. Thank you right there, number 546. Thank you, number 437. Thank you, number 128. Thank you, number 426. Thank you, number 153. Thank you, number 600. Thank you, number 462. Thank you, number 379. Thank you, number 300. Thank you, number 583. Thank you, number 439. Thank you, number 258. Thank you, number 212. Thank you, number 386. Is there anyone else here tonight? Thank you, number 119 as well. Thank you, number 617 as well as number 542 at $250. Is there anyone else here tonight at $250? Fantastic. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You know, Jason, I think we should go for one more round. I think one more. We are a membership organization, and we started that way because we've had the support of important people like you as members of Landmarks Illinois. So tonight, if we've inspired you to believe in our cause and our mission, could you please support us as a member and join us at the $100 level as a member?
We can all do it for Landmarks Illinois right here tonight. $100, ladies and gentlemen. Raise them high, raise them proud. Let's hear the clapping. Let's finish strong. Thank you, number 579. Thank you, number 552. Thank you, number 132. Thank you, number 183. Thank you, number 402. Thank you, number 520. Thank you, number 390. Thank you, number 126. Thank you, number 555. Thank you, number 137. Thank you, number 298. Thank you, number 463. Thank you, number 264. I don't hear the clapping. It all counts. It all adds up. Thank you, number 318. Thank you, number 349. Thank you, number 454. Thank you, number 668. Thank you, number 620. Thank you, number 459. Thank you, number 433. Thank you, number 340. Thank you, number 563. Thank you, number 351. Thank you, number 243. Thank you, number 358. Thank you, number 429. Thank you, number 178. Thank you, number 298. Is there anyone else? Thank you, number 491. Thank you, number 412. Thank you, number 351. All at $100 here tonight. Is there anyone else? How about a big round of applause for everyone at our $100 level here tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for all of your generosity and support of Landmarks Illinois. Thank you so very, very much.
Wow. Well, we still have the energy high. Our next landmark is also very familiar with the work of preservation and, like Landmarks Illinois, embraces the opportunity to rebuild communities by reinvesting in what already exists. To present our next landmark, please welcome Linda Johnson Rice, Chairman of Johnson Publishing Company.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, well, that's a good answer. I am so proud to be here to introduce an innovator, an activist, and my very dear friend, Theaster Gates. I have to tell you, we are truly very fortunate that Theaster calls Chicago home. Our city needs people willing to intervene with tools that empower the seeds of change, and Theaster, that is exactly what you do. He has developed and expanded a practice that does this very thing through space development, object making, performance, and critical engagement with many publics. I have to tell you, I met Theaster at a private dinner at the home of an art collecting couple. I was immediately captivated by his exuberant personality. Theaster was outgoing, fierce, sly, witty, sexy, and oh so talented. We developed a very fast friendship and bonded over the fact that we both were influenced by our very strong father figures. Early on, Theaster worked with his father, Theaster Sr., helping with the family's roofing business, which later influenced Theaster's use of tar in his art. A hard day's work was also expected of him, and he credits his father for the strength of knowing how to push forward. Theaster has taken a keen interest in Johnson Publishing Company and what my father, John Johnson, accomplished also. As a matter of fact, when our company was moving offices, I wasn't really sure what to do with our library of 10,000 books by African American authors. Then I met Theaster, and Theaster asked me if he could have the books. I wasn't sure what Theaster was going to do with 10,000 books, but I did trust him to put them to great use. He eventually used them in an art exhibition, My Labor is My Protest. It opened in 2012 at the White Cube Gallery in London. His amazing installation, Raising Goliath, I have to explain it to you. Theaster suspended a huge 1967 red Ford fire truck against a full backlog of our catalog of books in one of the gallery's very oversized spaces. Theaster described the work as a way to hoist the history of the civil rights out of view, making it both weightless and invisible, and to highlight the way things change and the way they remain the same. What a fantastic mind he has to have the ingenuity to create something of this magnitude. Not only is Theaster an artist, he is also founder of the nonprofit Rebuild Foundation, which I'm sure he's going to come and tell you all about. He is also currently the Director of Arts and Public Life at the University of Chicago. Theaster has showcased his work, performed at countless venues, and he has received so many awards, it's just too many to even mention. He truly is one of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my dear friend and an absolute living legend, Mr. Theaster Gates.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is an honor. I put my good jacket on tonight. It's an honor to be here, to receive this award, and to be among such amazing people doing such amazing work. I'm an artist, and I think that it's important to say that because I've found that artists are willing to deal with problems longer and in more complicated ways than other people are. That we know that there are lots of buildings in Chicago, and especially on the south and west sides, that are amazing buildings. But we don't know how to make the deal work, how to find the resources necessary in order to restore these buildings because there's not a market appetite for them. And I feel like a lot of the work that I've been trying to grapple with is how do you identify a building like the Stony Island State Savings Bank and not only give new use to it, but help people understand the tremendous value of a building like this in neighborhoods where we don't always see value, but rather we see violence first. That this is the building on Stony Island that for those of you who have houses in Michigan or you might have a history in South Shore, you pass this building and you, like me, think amazing things should happen with this building. But you're also stumped for what could happen there, right? And I feel like I'm really honored because finding Linda Johnson Rice and Desiree and having them be partners and being able to use this building as a repository for the rich history of the Johnson Publishing Company is an amazing and high use for this building. I feel like it's met its right user. And so a lot of the work that I've been doing is trying to match beautiful buildings with beautiful uses so that great things can happen on the south side and we can imagine future great things happening. I was fortunate enough to have the mayor visit Dorchester, the place where I'm doing a lot of reinvestment. And as the mayor was leaving, he was like, "Is there anything that I can help you with?" And I said, "Well, you know, there's this bank that you guys are about to tear down." And they were tearing the bank down because the parapet on the bank, the terracotta, they were really afraid that it was going to fall, just like a lot of our buildings. And he said, "If I save this bank, are you going to be able to find the resources to get the thing rehabbed?" And I was like, yeah. She said, "I'll slide, it's true." I was like, yeah, you know, it's no problem, it'll be no problem. And he stopped the demolition process, which Andy Mooney was not very excited about at first. But I'm excited now because once we got over the hurdle of saving the building, the rest of the work was a work of belief. And I think that what Landmarks is saying is about how important it is that we believe in these buildings so that they can do another work another day. And so for all of the support I've gotten from my banks, from the Chicago Community Loan Fund, from Jeff Freen, the new director of Rebuild Foundation, my friend Rich Shurtino, who thinks I'm crazy, but has offered great development advice, to all of my friends, Linda and Desiree, and the support that you guys have given me through Johnson. Thank you so much. I hope you all come to the South Side and kick it with us once the bank is done.
Theaster's going to be surprised when we all show up down there. To present the final landmark for the evening, please welcome event co-chairs Richard Driehaus, a 2007 legendary landmark and the founder and chairman of Driehaus Capital Management, and Dan McCaffrey, chairman and CEO of McCaffrey Interests Incorporated.
Ready?
Oh, no. I think one of the worst things about being asked to say something in a crowd like this, you sit there nervous. What's the guy in front of me going to be like? Yeah. And Theaster, you were terrific. Your message was terrific, and congratulations to you.
I second that. All of them. Right. What qualities come to mind when you think of Joe Antunovich? Yeah, a little later. Visionary, creative, energetic, boisterous, loyal, and larger than life. Tonight, Dan and I are privileged to present this well-deserved landmark as our colleague, friend, and co-conspirer.
You know what's funny? The organizing committee wrote our speeches. What do you think they were afraid of? You know, maybe that we would tell the truth about Joe. I'm not sure. And then to think that Richard Driehaus would be stuck for words, this really is a restorative night. Frankly, though, their outline was very, very helpful. Because left to my own devices, I would have told you about the good times I've had with this guy during the many, many years that we have spent together. Joe was born in New Zealand, I think. He often claims to be from New Zealand when he goes with his New Zealand accent. And then when he gets angry, he tells you, "I'm a Croatian." It's true and true. And then, of course, there's when Notre Dame shows up down in South Bend, and he says, "I'm from the University of South Carolina." What's that place? Oh, California. And I'm a discus thrower. Now, I tell you, I first met Joe in 1983. I was working in Minneapolis. He came to Minneapolis to design a building for me. And honest to God, I was so impressed by all the work that this guy did. I mean, he was so diligent. Week after week, Joe would show up. Frankly, it got to the point where day after day, Joe would show up. And I was honestly sold, impressed. Then I found out he actually had fallen in love with the most beautiful woman in our office. Hence the due diligence. Hence the attention to detail. Now, it is nice to say that he did marry that lovely woman, and I think we would all be wrong if we didn't acknowledge Leslie Antunovich tonight. I really think that as much as we all know Joe and everybody else, everything else about him, I can't imagine being married to this guy. Well, I can't imagine being married to any guy, but being married to a guy that puts in these number of hours with his unparalleled commitment to his profession. So here's to you, Leslie, too.
When I met Joe in the late 1980s, it's hard to follow you, Dan.
Was it in South Carolina?
Yeah, it was. He had left the offices of the famed Lowe & Associates to venture out on his own, starting the firm of Antunovich Associates. At that time, I was restoring the Ransom Cable House, where my offices are now headquartered. Hiring Joe and his firm proved transforming. They not only completed the project on time, they did it on budget too. Thank you, Joe. A promise, Joe, that you made at the start. And during that process, I wanted to make a few changes, and Joe said, no. Thank you, Joe, for the no. As an additional bonus, a lasting friendship was built. I was so impressed with his follow-through, I agreed to match him on charitable donations. So while he saved me money in renovations, my charitable contributions increased. He's very generous, too. Many thanks, Joe, for your integrity, commitment to excellence, and friendship. We've collaborated on many projects since then. This includes the restoration of a Nickerson mansion, now home to my museum. Joe has also worked on the prominent historic preservation projects both here in Chicago and across the nation. The list is impressive. The Platt Luggage Building relocation, the Reliance Building, Pittsburgh's Cork Factory, and the downtown campus of DePaul, housed in the former Goldblatt's department store.
I could do a project on budget with his money. Geez, you got to tell it like it is, don't you? Joe has had a great record. He really has had a great record of rebuilding older buildings, and he's amassed a remarkable reputation on new urban focused buildings also. And it's really diverse. He did do buildings like the Reliance Building and Richard's museums and so on. But he also did the master plan and executed most of the campus plan for McDonald's Corporation. And I think, yeah. And I think on a virtually pro bono basis, he did the largest Ronald McDonald House in the country. He has done work behind the scenes privately. Fortunately, I was able to collaborate with him on a couple of these things, which doing work restoring some of the buildings at the CPS. And I see Virgil Jones here, and Virgil will tell you that Joe came into Link Unlimited, an organization that provides funding for disadvantaged but highly capable African American kids, and built the Link headquarters, and so on. Most recently, Joe has, yeah, he deserves it. Very nice. Most recently, he has expanded his business. He's now got an office in Washington, D.C., right next door to ours. And he's doing some great projects there. And, you know, I will say on a very, very serious note, because it's important, he's got an unwavering dedication to his staff and to his team, the city, and in particular, his clients.
That's for sure, Dan. Not surprisingly, Joe has a strong connection to the organization we're sponsoring tonight. His passion for historic places led him to join the board of directors of Landmarks Illinois in 2000. In 2003, he became its chair. Joe has completed 12 years on the board. Although he's on a one-year hiatus, we know he'll be back. He was a game changer for Landmarks Illinois. Joe helped the organization take on big, high-profile projects. His greatest achievement was the saving of the iconic Barnesworth House. If not for Joe's leadership, Mies van der Rohe's masterpiece would have been disassembled, packed up, and carted away at auction to another country. He has continued to propose adaptive reuse scenarios for our biggest preservation challenges: the historic Cook County Hospital and the downtown Chicago Post Office, all of which were Landmark Illinois issues. Dan?
Thank you, Richard. You know, I know that Richard and I share this, and so does Landmarks. The best is yet to come from our friend, pal, Joey. He's just getting started. Here in Chicago, for example, there's the much anticipated project on the site of the former Children's Memorial Hospital. Much anticipated. Much anticipated. As well as the DePaul University Music School. In Washington, D.C., very recently, as I said, he opened an office. And he has taken on a heck of a lot of work with a friend of mine, now a friend of Joe's, Doug Jamal, who from Washington, D.C., came here with many of his staff and his son to also pay respects to Joe. Doug, not surprisingly, has him working on two large preservation-oriented projects, huge. One is the redo of the Heck Department Store Distribution Center warehouse, which is huge. And then this one I love. He's working on the redo of the Uline Arena. Now, you don't know what the Uline Arena is. There's only two people, well, there's a few, but one of them crazy enough to buy the thing is Doug Jamal, our friend. But the Uline Arena is an arena slash performance venue that was the first place that the Beatles performed live in the United States. So who in here wants to take a bet that Antunovich will not sing on that stage before it's demolished? He's also got projects in Baton Rouge. He's got projects in Orlando. The people from Baton Rouge are here. Orlando, and Tucson, Arizona. So it's no darn wonder that, at least from Joe's point of view, this ballroom is full for a very good reason. It's a great guy. And I think that if Joe were at the microphone right now, he would set aside his questionable New Zealand accent. He'd even forego the occasional Croatian quote or swear word. And he would turn into an American and say, "Hey, how we doing here, Danny?" These are some of his favorite sayings, and I think we're about to invite him up, but I do want to remind you, Joe, one of the people we heard from today was the godson of Mies van der Rohe, who said, "Less is more." So come on up and speak.
It's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'll give it to you. Joe, I got a little bit more before you come on. Okay? Okay, no, not. We have a fun surprise in store for you to welcome Pale Joey to the stage. A special gift to our colleague and friend we have all come to know, appreciate, and adore for his marvelous achievements. So here to serenade our 2014 legendary landmark is Stephanie Prodromos. Only 17 years old, Stephanie was the youngest finalist for the 2011 Junior Opera Idol competition. So we are delighted to have her perform this evening a very special edition of What's Else? Johnny Mercer's Too Marvelous for Words. Stephanie?
You're just too marvelous, too marvelous for words, like a glorious, glamorous, that'll stand by amorous. It's all too wonderful. I'll never find the words that say enough, tell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too much, and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. You're much, you're way too much, and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous. I mean, you're really fabulous, to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for
Richard just said it wasn't on budget.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I knew it was dangerous territory when I'd be introduced by two Irishmen. Thank you all. You are indeed all marvelous. Richard, thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do for our city. You are indeed marvelous. Thank you. And thank you to you too, Dan, my good friend. Your kind words. 30 long, hard years together. You're still an Irish pain in the ass. I'm sorry, Father. Father, I'm sorry. Well, you know, Father, speaking about just acknowledging Father Wall there, this morning I had a reality check. I thought this was my special day. I got up, you know, I was full of energy. It was my special day. You know, I was feeling great about myself. This is, wow. But it's amazing how the big guy upstairs has a way of grounding you. So, you know, I'm coming down Ridge. I live in Evanston, so I'm coming down Ridge. Right before I hit Lakeshore Drive, bang, I hit one of our legendary Chicago potholes. Tires gone. Right before I hit Lakeshore Drive. Now, you know, on Lakeshore Drive it would have been tough. So I pull off the side street, ice, snow, me in my big black coat, the little wrench, lifting up the tire, taking off the tire. That's the way God grounds you and says, big guy, it may be your special day, but you're no better than the rest of us. So, I'm deeply honored that you all came out tonight to have a few drinks with the Croatian farm boy from the hills of New Zealand. That is actually all true. Wow, who would have thought? However, I must say that I'm really nervous about all of this landmark business, even though we're made a practice of it. They say they're going to make me a legendary landmark here in the city. So I have huge anxiety about that. So before the evening, I conferred with my very good friend Jack George here, the fabulous, fabulous zoning attorney here in the city. How am I doing, Jack? Am I doing okay? And so we went over I asked him about the zoning requirements, that go with being anointed a Chicago landmark. So, he directed me to the zoning book, and right here under chapter 2-120 of the Chicago Landmark Ordinance, you find out what you're getting yourself into. And so if I could just take a couple of minutes here to kind of, for all of you, this might be kind of humorous, but I'm a bit concerned about this stuff. So it says, in Chicago, any designated landmark is protected. Here in Chicago, the word protection has a different connotation. Any designated landmark is protected by the Commission on Chicago Landmarks. And it goes on, so I kind of read this thing, and Jack gave me some advice, and it says, any exterior changes or modifications to a designated Chicago landmark can only be undertaken with the approval of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks. Think about that. I'm a young man still. This includes changes in color, so texture, or overall structural proportions. You see my anxiety level here. So I can only say to my dear wife, Leslie, honey, you're stuck with this landmark facade just the way I am. On a more on a more serious note, if that's possible tonight, I'd just like to say thank you to Landmarks Illinois for this marvelous honor. Thank you for all you do, all that we've done together. Nothing can be more rewarding than be recognized by your colleagues for being and lending a hand and stepping forward to help. And that's all I've ever tried to do in my life, is to step forward and put your hand out and help. That's something my father taught me, an old Croatian way of doing business. Isn't that right? He's one of the leading Croatians in the world sitting right here. A huge thank you to all of my marvelous friends and colleagues for showing up tonight. This is truly overwhelming. Some came from as far away as Florida, Chuck and Amy and Iris. From Louisiana, John and Carolyn and Louise and Mike. The District of Columbia, Douglas and Matthew and Paul, thank you. And from California, my college buddy, John Kolich, and his wife, Janine. A huge thank you to all of them. You humble me with your presence. A huge thank you also to my colleagues at Antunovich Associates. We are indeed colleagues. We work together, and they make it possible for us to give back so generously as we do to our community. I love you all. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to thank my wife, Leslie, for just being you. Thank you, darling. So to all of you here tonight, I'd just simply like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for making this the most special night of my life. You all are indeed marvelous. Thank you.
If you could be seated for just a moment before we say goodnight, we want to commemorate the lives of our legendary landmarks who have passed away. Bernie Sullins, co-founder of the famed Second City, who was landmarked in 2008. There with Harold Ramis and Jane. And a distinguished alumnus of the Second City who went on to become one of the most well-known actors and directors of our time, Harold Ramis. He was a 2010 legendary landmark. We're honored to have so many of our past legendary landmarks with us tonight. We'd like to invite all of you to come up here on the stage right now, along with our legendary landmarks, for all of us to toast you. Don't make me beg. Please come up, right here, right here. That's it. With us tonight are Richard Gray, Jane Nichols Sullins, Richard Driehaus, Susan and Lou Manilow, Michael Kutza, John Vinci, Leslie Hindman, John McCarter, and our newest landmarks, John Terlato, Theaster Gates, and Joe Antunovich. So grab a glass. We're going to do a toast in honor of these landmarks of Chicago's civic and cultural skyline. Atta girl. They look like they're getting ready for the high kick. a group.
Are you in our picture?
I'm afraid I'm in the picture because the microphone is here. Well, anyway, on behalf of our Landmarks Illinois, I want to thank you for your support, for joining us tonight. We want to thank you, and hope that you join us next year for the incredible work that the evening has made possible. Thank you all. Good night, everybody.